There are two really important things I like about this deal, and I think that's part of why Gilead stock is responding well. First, the company has been expected to deploy capital and build a huge portfolio of cancer drugs, and they have a very, very good drug here in the Immunomatics drug. And I think this is going to be a big blockbuster for Gilead going forward.
Do you think they've seen more data than others have seen? Is that the normal process with a deal like this? And does that make you encouraged that there's some more blockbuster drugs to come?
Yeah, I think in two ways this is going to be a long-term good deal. One is because they were pretty clear they have seen additional data in other tumor types that Wall Street is not aware of. There's a large ongoing study in breast cancer, another study in lung cancer, and they have seen that data, and they're bullish on that program. So that's number one. And in addition, the company is very focused on some of the initial data that's going to be next week. But longer term, there are other tumors that are going to work making this a big drug.
I'm sort of surprised to see Gilead up at 2% and to hear you talk about it, because a lot of the focus from analysts and the media takeaway from this has been on the high price tag, the fact that they paid a more than 100% premium after a already 100% run up in the stock, overpaying.
Well, look, I've never heard of someone that didn't pay up for a good asset. I think the key is that people expect Gilead to have to deploy that capital. Cost of capital is cheap. They're out there, and this has been an out of favor stock. So this is what they've been expected to do, and investors are finally happy that they're doing that. The longer term, of course, is, look, it is a reflection of the fact that this is a good drug. It's going to be a big one, and I think people like that.
What's the time frame now for news from Gilead and the potential catalysts or triggers for the share price to improve further?
That's right. On one hand, I think that the really important Immunomatics data is going to be first half of next year. If that new breast cancer study works, I think the sale is going to go up to $4 billion from where $2 to $3 billion where people are today. So that's a big one. I'd also point next week at the ESMO conference, where Gilead has seen some of that data already. You're going to see new data in bladder cancer as well, and that's going to be a big one. Remember, we were talking about remdesivir and COVID over the last few months. That was a big driver. That's kind of faded away. A lot of people have been worried about vaccine stuff, and I do expect the vaccines to work. We might talk about that. But I think most people expect that for remdesivir, that's going to be out there. And, a lot of the focus has moved beyond COVID for Gilead.
That's just what I was going to ask. And there was a point where remdesivir data and Gilead stock was moving the entire market, because that was our best hope at fighting this pandemic. What kind of revenue driver has it been for this company, and where does that outlook go, as you say, with the focus now all on a vaccine?
Yeah, this was a huge roller coaster, right? A couple months ago, people didn't know if it was going to work. Then it works, stock goes up, it works, and then stock goes back down. The street is having a very difficult time trying to figure out if it's just a $3 billion one-time pandemic situation right now, or there's going to be sales into the future. We do think there will be sales in the future, $1 billion. There will be a COVID vaccine, so people don't want to give a lot of value to that, particularly when the longer-term outlook is really about new cancer drugs, new pipeline, and a reason to buy Gilead for the growth going forward.